Hey guys, welcome back to Ben & Brewing's channel. If you haven't been here before, we do product reviews, tutorials, and we have a live chat feature on our website to help you through your Brew Day 911s. Check it out at benandbrewing.com. Today we're brewing on the iGulu F1, and we're doing their Bavarian wheat kit to see how good it actually is. We're going to brew it up, we're going to taste it, and we're going to show it to you. If you do decide to purchase the iGulu, we do have a coupon code listed below. iGulu.com, use code benandbrewing, you'll get $179 off your purchase. Let's check it out. All right, let's talk about the ingredients you're going to need to do your kit today. You're going to need a gallon of room temperature water. We recommend that you use a bottle like a spring water. We don't really want you to use tap water because of the chlorine in there. Can cause some flavor issues. So just room temperature water. We're going to use Star San as our sanitizer today, and of course, the Bavarian wheat kit by iGulu. All right, let's take a look at what comes inside of the Bavarian wheat kit. Looks like we've got some dried malt extract. This is a wheat malt extract. That's gonna be really simple. We've got our hop bittering extract 15, our yeast, dry wheat beer yeast, and then our RFID sticker for the iGulu machine. So really, that's it. All right, so we've got all our equipment, we've got all our ingredients. Let's go ahead and brew this thing. So step one is obviously to take your Triton keg and remove the lid. Now, little tip for you. If you unlatch this, but you're unable to separate, like for some reason it's stuck, it means your lid has become partially unseated and has risen up, which locks this thing in place. I'm sure that's by design as a safety feature. So if you can't separate it after you've unlatched it, push it down to reseat the lid. You'll probably feel it slide a little, and then this will pop right off with ease. Okay, next, take the lid off, and we're gonna sanitize. One thing I like about Star San is that 30 seconds of contact time and it sanitizes everything. So we're just gonna run through the inside of our beer line. We're gonna take the lid, I'm gonna pop off your dip tube. We're gonna run that through sanitizer. Put it back on, and then I'm gonna do the inside of the lid. Okay. The other thing I like about the Star San is when it is fully diluted down, like if you have some foam and things in your beer, it actually acts as a yeast nutrient. The yeast will actually take it up and use it, so I think that's pretty cool. If you're not comfortable doing that though, you can certainly dump out your keg once the 30 seconds have passed and you've sloshed it around. All right, everything has been sanitized. Let's go ahead and take the lid off, add our spring water, and that's gonna go up to the 116 ounce mark, which is marked for you right there. They have a max line as well. I would stick this close to the 116 as possible so your beer is a little more true to what it was designed to be. Next step, we're gonna add the hop oils. Add our yeast. Our dried wheat extract. Make sure you get all that in there. Perfect. We're gonna put our lid on. They say you don't need to stir it, probably for sanitary reasons. Everything has been sanitized, so it should be good. We're gonna follow the directions. We're not going to stir it. Just put this in, fasten it down, install our lid lock. Nice and secure. Next, we're gonna hook up the hose. Now the beer line hose, don't forget, if you've recently cleaned this or sanitized it, as we did, it needs to be closed. I'm gonna clamp that down all the way. We're gonna pop it on there, and now we're ready to put it in the iGulu. All right, let's get the Triton keg into our iGulu. We're gonna drop it in. Go ahead and take off the magnetic metal cover on the tap. Take your tubing, make sure this is still closed, that clamp during fermentation. Push this forward. Stick the tube in as far as it'll go, lay it in the channel. Close that up. on the struggle bus today. But that went right in. Okay, good. Next, we need to hook up the CO2 connection. That is here. Goes on one spot only. Put the lid on it. And then take your RFID tag from the pack. You're gonna scan it. Oh, I didn't turn it on yet, did I? Make sure you turn on the iGulu because it does ferment better when it's turned on. Turn that guy on. We'll let it boot up for a second. Okay, now that we're booted up, it should work much better. We're gonna take our sticker, we're gonna scan it, and it should tell us that it's gonna be doing a Bavarian wheat. We'll go ahead and click OK and look how many days it's gonna be and let it do its thing. All right, guys, welcome back. We are here to do a tasting of the iGulu wheat beer kit. It's been a little bit more than 2 weeks. We've had it kind of chilling, and we've had some other videos and things we've been working on, so we haven't been able to get around to it, but we're finally excited to be able to sit down and do it. Now, I will say on the offset, or the outset, this beer foamed up a lot more than our first beer that we tasted, the pale ale, quite a bit. And I know the initial pours tend to do that, but this beer seems to foam excessively. So keep that in mind when you are brewing it and enjoying it. The other thing I noticed too, I done an initial pour after it finished fermenting, and it was cloudy like a wheat beer should be. They've actually clarified quite a bit. It almost looks more like a chill haze than really a wheat beer. And I think, Kristy, your beer is even more clear than mine is.
It is, yeah.
So it's interesting that keeping it at that, you know, we kept it at 43 degrees, which I know is colder than most beer temperature that you want to, but I wanted to make sure it was still fresh. It started to kind of drop bright a little bit, so a lot of the proteins came out of it. So we'll see. You ready to try it?
I am.
Let's give it a try.
Okay.
Cheers.
Cheers. It smells like a wheat beer.
Banana, clove.
It's not bad. It's actually not bad at all.
It's not bad. It tastes a little thin.
Yes.
Does it?
It does.
Is that my imagination?
It is. It does taste a little bit thin, but overall, it's not. It doesn't have an off flavor.
It's not offensive. No. It's definitely a wheat beer. It is lacking some depth, I think, for a wheat beer.
It is.
It's a little, like I said, that thin. The mouthfeel tastes fine or feels fine, but it's not as complex as a typical wheat beer would be. It is clean. It's not offensive. I think if you are giving this to one of your friends who isn't necessarily into craft beer, this is a good approachable way to start. This is nice. And to be honest and to be fully transparent, wheat beers are not my personal favorite. I don't like that combination of the yeast esters with the yeast and the cloves. It's not my thing. But this isn't bad. If someone poured this for me, I'd be like, yeah, this is good. I could drink a glass of it. I don't know if I do a lot of it because it's not my cup of tea, and it is a little light, a little plain.
I feel like if we could add something to it, it might enhance the flavor. But the funny thing is the aroma is actually really good.
I like your idea of, actually, I'm sorry, I'm distracted by, remember how I talked about the foam? The foam on this thing, it's like whipped cream. It is unbelievably thick. The head retention is actually quite amazing, but it's thick like it's clotted cream. I mean, it is very thick. When we first started, we couldn't get our glasses even because we kept having to pour to get the foam to die down because it was so much. And I know it dies down. We're working on some potential hacks and things with the iGulu to help with that foam, especially when you first start to pour. It seems like it settles down about 4 or 5 pints into the keg, although this one, for some reason, is foaming beyond that.
Yeah, any glass we've poured, it's just a full-on foam, which I think you have to take into consideration with this particular beer. It's already a small batch, so you'd hope that you'd be able to get more out of it.
With all that foam, there could be potentially a lot of wasted beer with it.
Because we've already dumped quite a bit of foam already.
And the culprit could be because it is a wheat beer. It has more of the proteins in it. Obviously, more head retention with it because of those proteins, and so it may be a little more sensitive to retaining that foam once you pour it. So again, keep that in mind. Now, I like your idea you had. You said maybe this is something we can tweak, and we've discussed this before about some of the beer kits. The pale ale we did was phenomenal and delicious. This is missing something.
Yes.
And I wonder if we could take it and tweak it a little bit and modify the recipe itself to kind of enhance the flavors with the kit. I don't know, I mean, if we want to go a direction like a Blue Moon, which has more of the citrus kind of notes to it, that might actually have a nice note to give some complexity to it.
I think that's what's missing for me, is there's like a very light citrus. If it had a little bit more citrus, I feel like it'd be great. I am getting the clove. I'm getting the...
Definitely.
Yeah. I feel like it's just missing a little bit of the citrus element.
I think so, yeah. No,
Yeah.
definitely. So stay tuned for a video that'll be coming out soon. We'll take a look at maybe hacking some of these beer kits to either enhance them, or if it's a good kit, maybe just changing it to go a different direction. Maybe adding some fruit, maybe adding some additional malts. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
Overall, I think it's not bad. So I'm excited to kind of get into it. So
Me too.
this was great. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more tips, tricks, and hacks with the iGulu F1. And if you haven't seen our other content on our channel, please check it out. We've got all kinds of tutorials and product reviews as well. Catch you later, my friends.